Hi there to Chef Rio and all of his colleagues and associates back in the Philippines. My name's Greg Holmes and I'm here to just provide a bit of an update of what's happening in Australia when it comes to our need for chefs and the qualifications. So firstly, when the pandemic hit Australia, many people left the country, and as a matter of fact, 500,000 people left Australia to go back home. And we do rely heavily on overseas labour to fill some of the roles where we have skill shortages. And one of those, of course, is with chefs and cooks in hospitality. It's a big need in Australia, and since everyone left, and of course our borders have been officially closed, we've now got a real serious skills shortage within the hospitality industry, specifically with chefs and cooks. So what we're seeing now is I think there's a number like about 6,000 chefs required in the country. So it's become a real serious issue here, and some restaurants are not even able to open every day of the week because they don't have the skills to be able to operate their businesses. So what they've done is they've now prioritised chefs on the list of trades we can bring into Australia even with borders closed. So that means as of today, every chef that we lodge that's qualified and has passed all the regulations, we can now lodge those visas and get them approved for clients coming into Australia, even today. So that's the great news. But what comes with that is what's required and what are the qualifications, and of course what we need for chefs is a Cert 4 in commercial cookery, and that's a bit tough. It's not easy. We have things like menu planning, rosters, food costings, all sorts, and kitchen management, so managing a kitchen. So it's a senior position, and some of the requirements for that are quite detailed, and with something like what Chef Rio is doing is fantastic, because he can go through and share with people the requirements to get through a Certificate 4. Because once upon a time, someone from Australia would fly to the Philippines in a working environment and work with the chef on their skills. Now it's just done online, so it's one-on-one, and therefore the chef needs to understand all of the theory behind the practice of the Certificate 4. So it's not easy, but it's a fantastic thing, and the fact that we now do need something like 6,000 chefs in the country, it is something that we are really keen to pursue to see what we can do to help people in the Philippines get through that process so they're available to come to Australia. My name's Greg Holmeson. Thank you for listening. Again, thank you to Rio for your initiative here in trying to get a pool of people who are going to be qualified for the requirements of coming into Australia. Thanks very much for listening. Cheers.